Então, gente, nós vamos dar continuidade ao que nós vimos na semana passada. So we're going to talk about a little bit of the daily activities on the present tense of fazer, dizer, trazer, sair, impor. Why? Because those are very irregular verbs. In Portuguese, it's a very irregular language. We have more irregularities than regularities, but let's go. So we have the basic conjugations over here. So fazer, eu faço. Tu, we don't use too much. So você, o senhor, ele, ela faz. Nós fazemos, vocês, eles, elas fazem. Trazer, eu trago. Você, ele, ela traz. Nós trazemos, vocês, eles, elas trazem. Dizer, eu digo. Você, ele, ela diz. Nós dizemos, vocês, eles, elas dizem. So they are irregular on the first person, which is very common for Portuguese language. So all the other personal pronouns or conjugations are regular, while the first person is irregular. Why? I have no idea, but that's how things go. So dizer, to say, to tell, is generally distinguished in Portuguese as it is in English from falar. However, in Brazilian Portuguese, falar is often substituted for dizer. I would say in Brazil we use more falar. Dizer is it has more meaning to it. It's like has a deeper meaning to it, but I would say we use more falar. So, for example, Miguel fala devagar. Paulinho diz obrigado à tia Alice. Here we would use falar in Brazil. Paulinho fala obrigado à tia Alice, which is very common. Sair. Sair is kind of a special verb because it can change depending on the preposition that goes after it. But the basic conjugation is irregular on the first person, of course. Eu saio, você, ele, ela sai, nós saímos, vocês, eles, elas saem. Why does it change? Because you can use it with three prepositions: de, para, e com. We learned those prepositions on Português 1101. So things that we have to have in mind. De will always indicate an origin or a possession. That's a type of preposition that comes with those meanings inside of them, attached to it. So every time we are manipulating or we are using a verb that has to do or that has a connection with the preposition de, we are going to be either talking about origin or we're going to be talking about possession in most of cases. The opposite case would be para. So para would be to whom this is intended to. Para has a meaning of destination. Para has a meaning of target. So every time we are manipulating or using a verb with the preposition para, we're aiming to the target of this verb. To whom is this intended? Where is this going? What's the destination of this verb? And then com implies a person. So, eu saio de casa às 9 horas. It emphasizes where I'm leaving from. So I am emphasizing my origin, right? But when I say nós saímos para o trabalho, it emphasizes the destination. So I'm going to work. My final destination is my workplace. E meu irmão sai com a Silvana. He goes out with Silvana. Generally, sair com has like a romantic implication to it. When you say somebody sai com somebody else can mean that they are dating or they're hooking up or something like that. But that's basically what it would mean. And then por. Por is the funniest verb. Just the pronunciation of it. So, eu ponho, tu pões, well, we don't use tu, but você, ele, ela põe, nós pomos, vocês, eles, elas põem. Por, it has to have chapéu, because otherwise it's something else, okay? It has to have this accent. Normally means to put. Por can also means to wear or to put on an accessory such as hats or glasses. So, it can also be used with clothes. I mean, I get dressed with something. A mãe põe a comida no prato. So the mother puts the food on the plate. nós sempre pomos óculos para ler. Eu ponho a mesa. I set the table. Eu ponho um vestido. Eu ponho uma camiseta. Eu ponho brincos. So those are all accessories that we wear. But if I am emphasizing not the fact that I am wearing it right now, I would just use put, or I would just use the verb pour, because I'm emphasizing that I put it on. We have the exercises over here. Ta-na-na. Expressing how long ago something has been going on. Faz ou há. Expressions of time. This is basically interchangeable for basic purposes. So to say that an action state began in the past and continues into the present, use faz ou há plus length of time plus que plus present tense. Faz is more common in Brazilian Portuguese and há is more common in European Portuguese. I would say yes, we do use more faz. But both are used interchangeably by Portuguese speakers everywhere. True that. How do I know the rule? Tada, there is no rule. It's Portuguese. It's a savage language. Faz 2 meses, so the verb, fazer, length of time, que, present tense. Faz 2 meses que estudo português. Or I could use há 2 meses que estudo português, but we don't do it because we're Brazilians, we use faz. Há 2 horas que eles jogam futebol. So this person is Portuguese because they use há. If you begin the sentence with the present tense of the main verb, do not use que. The thing is, Portuguese, so you can invert the order of the sentence. So this sentence is connected by a que. So we have 2 sentences over here. Faz 2 meses, connection, que, is second sentence, estudo português. I could invert the sentence and I could just start it with estudo português faz 2 meses, and that will be perfectly correct and clear. And that's what they are stating over here. See, I started with the verb. Estamos aqui faz uma semana. Alright? So I started with the verb and finished with fazer. Here I started with fazer and I finished with the verb. So if I want to transform this sentence into this sentence, I have to use que. Faz uma semana que estamos aqui. Alright? To find out how long an action state has been taking place, use faz quanto tempo que ou há quanto tempo que plus present tense. The question may be made more precise by referring to a measure of time. Quantas horas, etc. Quantos dias, quantos meses, quanto tempo, whatever. Faz quanto tempo que você mora no Brasil? Since this is a question, we cannot use this structure to do this question, to make this question. You have to use this specific structure. So you start with faz, length of time, que, and then rest of question. Você mora no Brasil. Exercise, situations. Viajar. Let me see if there is anything else that is supposed to be... Oh yeah, and the preterite tense. Preterite tense, what is interesting to be noticed is that everything that was, or most of the things that were irregular on present will become regular in the past. Why? Because Portuguese is savage. For example, verbs in AR, ER, IR. The only difference between these verbs is in nós. Amos, emos, imos. This is a complete different conjugation, but those 2 conjugations are basically the same, except on nós, because they become what they are supposed to be. Emos, ER, IR, imos. Alright? Eu comprei, você, ele, ela comprou, nós compramos, vocês, eles, elas compraram. ER, IR. Eu bebi, eu servi. Você bebeu, ele, ela serviu. Oh yeah, this is difficult. Oh, yeah, the conjugation still finishes the same. It's just you have to pay attention to I. Hemos, Imos, eram, iram. But the ending is the same. And then the verb ir. The verb ir and the verb ser are the same in the past. How do I know which one I am using? I know it's not over here, but I'm just giving it to you for free right now. So the verb ir and the verb ser are the same. Eu fui, você, ele, ela foi, nós fomos, eles foram. How do I know which verb I am using? You are going to have to rely on your context if I'm using the verb to go or the verb to be. Alright? The predatory tense in Portuguese is used to talk about past events, actions, and conditions that are viewed and completed or ended. Important to notice that these are for completed actions in the past, started and finished, or they are just simply a point in the timeline in the past. Verbs ending in car, gar, sar have a spelling change in the eu form to show how the word is pronounced. That's the same case of last week's verbs. So we want to preserve the sound. C plus E doesn't go together, so I have to put Q. Fiquei. J plus E becomes je. I want G, so I have to put a U over here. And this is a backwards case. C plus A becomes K, so this has a tail. But when I go to C plus E, it already has the sound that I want. Sei, dancei. So I don't need it anymore. Some expressions that you can use with the predatory to denote past time are ontem, anteontem, a semana passada, o mês passado, and etc, etc, etc. These are listening exercises. Ta-na-na. Museum, I think that is it, and the rest of it will be the north of Brazil. Yeah. Yes, that's it. 185 horizons. Very interesting. Okay, so we're gonna stop over here. That will be it for this week. If you guys have questions, please schedule a tutoring session with me or send me an email. And let me know if you guys are having problems with anything. Muito obrigada e nos vemos em breve.